Previously, on Pat's Car Garage, you've seen me gently remove the rusty old backing plates. So today, we're going to rectify that by fitting new backing plates made by Crown Automotive. I'm only going to show the driver's side, just keep in mind the passenger side is an identical procedure. With the car up on jack stands and the wheels removed, remove the caliper and set it aside. Don't let it hang off the brake line. And then remove the brake rotor. Next up is removing the axle shafts. For this, we need to drain the gear oil from the differential. If you're wondering why my brand new gear oil is so nasty, I have a limited slip differential in here, so that's the clutch material that gets suspended in the oil. Removing the axle shafts is pretty simple once you're inside the differential. First, you need to unscrew and remove the crosspin retaining bolt. You'll need a regular 1/4 inch 12-point wrench for it. Then just push the crosspin out. It may need a few taps to get it started. While the crosspin is still inside the carrier, you can move the carrier by twisting the axle shaft. However, once you remove the crosspin, don't do that if you have an open differential. The spider gears will walk out and fall out. The spider gears will only stay put without the crosspin if you have a limited slip differential. I'll show the passenger side axle since you can clearly see it from this camera angle. You push the axle shaft into the differential, pull the C-clip out, which sometimes just falls out, and then just pull the shaft back out of the axle all the way. I did spend a little bit of time cleaning the rust off the old nuts on the backing plate just to be sure my impact gun had something to grab onto and wouldn't just strip them out. Luckily that went pretty well and the nuts came right off. A little bit of wiggling and banging later, the old backing plates were off the axle. Nothing too hard about fitting the new backing plate. The only weird thing is they only come with 2 new nuts for some reason, so I reused 2 of the best rusty nuts that I removed previously. This is, however, where we hit a little snag. The top spring on the parking brake interferes with the ABS tone ring on the shaft. The ABS on this car has never worked, so I'll simply cut the tone ring off. But these backing plates are advertised as non-ABS, and I haven't found any ABS-compatible part number. On the red Jeep, I'll have to think of a fix for this, but for now it'll do. So that was a little bit of a snag, but here's what I came up with. Cut the ABS tone ring off with a little Dremel disc. See, and I should be able to take that off the axle shaft. So my camera's battery did happen to die right there, but here you go. So I just jammed in a screwdriver, I was able to remove the tone ring, and now this axle shaft should fit. Alright, did the same thing on the other side. Cut the ABS tone ring off, fitted the new backing plate, and slid the axle shaft back in. Putting the C-clips and crosspin back in is the opposite of removal. The only thing to really be careful of is the alignment of the bolt hole in the crosspin. You want it to get it fairly well lined up before putting it in the carrier. You might still need to use a thin precision screwdriver to get it to line up with the bolt. I wanted to use the sweet nodular iron cover from Dana, but unfortunately it did not seal against my lube locker gasket. I did not have any problems with the lube locker gasket on the stamped steel cover. I also have a lube locker gasket on my front differential with a similar nodular iron cover from Dana, and it sealed just fine. So it's not an issue with the lube locker. I think it's either my rear differential housing that's slightly bent or the cover isn't machined right. Regardless, I'd rather have the lube locker than switch to RTV just to keep the nodular iron cover, so I drained this fresh gear oil into a clean bucket, ground all the rust off my steel cover, painted it gloss back, and slapped it back together. The filling quantities for the Dana 35 are roughly 1.5 liters, 75W90 conventional or 75W140 synthetic, and with limited slip additive if you have a clutch type LSD. And that's the end of anything difficult. Just make sure the caliper sits properly on the bracket, throw the wheels back on and torque them to 100-ish foot-pounds. As usual, thank you for watching and I hope you learned more than nothing.